Mass shootings in America have become commonplace in many cities, to a point where the news is barely covering most of them. So I wanted to see how mass shootings have changed over the past 5 years and to see what effects the summer of Floyd had, if any, on mass shootings. So I looked at all the mass shootings of 2022, and at the time of creating this video, there were 604. And I wrote down any city with 4 or more mass shootings. And there were 36 cities with 4 or more, 7 of which that had double-digit mass shootings. So we're going to not necessarily look at the ones with the most, but the cities with the most change since 2018. So let's start with Grand Rapids, Michigan, which before the year of St. Floyd 2020, they didn't have any mass shootings. In 2020 and 2021, they had 1, but this year they've had 4. Of the 4, only 1 resulted in a death. In 2020, Grand Rapids set a new homicide record with 35. That passed the previous record of 34 set in 1993. Data on the city's website only goes back 6 months, so I'm not sure what this year looks like, but it will likely be less than that record. Mass shootings, on the other hand, still much higher. Another city whose mass shooting numbers are on the rise is Portland, Oregon, which had 0 5 years ago, then 1 each for 2019 and 2020, and then 3 last year and 4 so far this year. In 2020, Portland had 53 murders for the entire year. This year, they had 85 as of November 14th, closing in on the 90 they had in 2021, which was a record year. Their 4 mass shootings this year resulted in 3 deaths and 16 injuries. And what would a list like this be without the city that started it all, Minneapolis, Minnesota, which went from 1 a year pre-Floyd to 6 in 2020 and 2021, and now 8 so far this year. Only 8 cities in all of America have had more mass shootings than Minneapolis, unless you count DC, which also had 8. The 8 mass shootings resulted in only 2 deaths, but 34 more people were injured. Minneapolis is the 45th largest city in America, and before the city was allowed to burn in 2020, would have had an average crime problem for a city of its size. But a knee on the neck, followed by a summer of riots, changed all that, and the rising number of mass shootings is reflected in those changes. Philadelphia has seen huge fluctuations, going from 11 and 13 mass shootings up to 31 in 2020, then down to 24, and currently they sit at 25, but will likely add a few before the year's end. Philly is the 6th largest city in America and accounts for the 2nd most mass shootings. In fact, they accounted for 4% of all mass shootings this year. Overall, murder numbers are down 6% from this time last year, but are still nearly 30 higher than they were in 2020. The city has seen 464 homicides this year, 16 of which happened as a result of one of the city's 25 mass shootings, which is 3% of all of the city's murders occurring during a mass shooting. And we can't do a video on mass shootings without including the GOAT itself, Chicago, Illinois, who year after year has the most. But this year, the number should remain below the 2021 count of 60. In 2018, they had less than half their 2021 numbers for mass shootings, and every year since 2018, the number didn't just go up, but went up in leaps and bounds. They should finish this year with around 50, so that will show a nice drop from the last couple years. So those were 5 cities whose mass shooting levels have changed over the past 5 years. If these types of videos are interesting to you and you'd like to see more of them, hit that like button and leave me a comment and let me know. Unless a mass shooting is huge and can't be ignored, they seem to be back page news right now. And even if you live in some of these cities, you may have no idea just how often they happen. So stay safe, America. Keep your head on a swivel, and remember, a bullet can travel over a mile unimpeded. So keep dodging those strays till these shooters get better aim. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.